All right, if you know me, you know that I love my charbelcher decks, and we're going to be playing one of them today. This is probably one of the more spicy ones, but it's pretty solid because in 3 colors, we're able to play a lot of very, very strong cards. So, Goblin Charbelcher, namesake card, exile until you hit a land, and it deals that much damage to your opponent. We play only MDFC lands, and that means that in Belcher activation with enough cards in our library is lethal in every situation. And so we have 3 Belchers, essentially 7 if you think about how we can go through Karn into the sideboard to get our 1 Belcher there. So we basically have 7 Belchers in the deck. Now, there's a few lines in order to actually getting to a Belcher on the battlefield that we can activate. And let's go through those really quick. So the first one is just get 4 lands, play a Belcher, and we are good to go. Get it onto the battlefield in 1 turn, activate it the next turn. That is all that we really need to do to win the game. So keeping a hand with a Goblin Charbelcher in it is not terrible. We also have a little bit of acceleration with our blockers here. There's 1 Shambling Ghast and 4 Greedy Freebooters. This is all the slots that I had for this kind of effect. But when these die, they make treasure tokens, which can essentially make us not take some damage in the early game, which can open up some other avenues for wins. And it's also going to help us, get the Belcher out a little bit earlier. All we need is 7 mana to cast and activate it, so every little bit helps. Now, the other thing that we can do is we can get Channel. Channel, banned in a lot of formats, but we do have it in Timeless. As a restricted card, basically pay life for colorless mana. That's pretty good when our combo card is essentially just needing only colorless mana. So if we basically have 8 or more life total, we can cast Channel, cast Belcher from hand, activate Belcher. If we have a Karn in hand, we can still win the game. It just costs us essentially 11 life, so we have to have 12 or higher in order to kill with Karn. Channel, cast Karn, minus, get Belcher out of the sideboard, cast it, activate it. That's 11 mana, so we need to have 12 or more life. So that's another way to get your thing going on. And then this deck really layers because we have multiple combos in it, but we're really piecing them together with tutor effects like Assemble the Team and Demonic Tutor. Seek New Knowledge also in here since we're going into blue a little bit. I think that this has been a pretty solid card. It gives us the ability to throw away some junk, which often we will have in a combo deck that will have extra lands at some point and doesn't really need them. Or we'll have protection like Veil of Summer that we don't need till later in the game. So yeah, Demonic Tutor, Assemble the Team help us get there. And the final way to make our Belcher work is the classic Beseech the Mirror into either Belcher or Ironcrag feat. We don't run any red mana except for our treasures, so you typically always need to go Beseech into Ironcrag feat. Luckily with Seek New Knowledge, if we draw Ironcrag, we can put it back on the bottom. But Beseech casts our Ironcrag, we go Belcher from hand, remaining 3 mana from Ironcrag, used to activate it. So those are pretty much the 3 ways that we're able to get a Belcher into play. But this deck can do things that are different than that. We can also run a 1 of Show and Tell and Omniscience here. This is really just in the deck because it takes up 2 slots, and once we get an Omniscience on the battlefield, we have so many tutors with Assemble the Team, Demonic Tutor, Seek New Knowledge, Fae of Wishes, and Born Upon a Wind, I guess, does draw a card. These are all ways to find our secondary combo, or our main combo, I guess you could call it. And, once we have an Omniscience, we will be very similar to the standard Omni Show, which can win the game from the spot. Typically, it will be just going right back to the Goblin Charbelcher plan, but, it is what it is. So let's see, what is next? The other thing that we can do here is go for value Omnisciences. If we go for Show and Tell Omniscience and it gets removed for whatever reason, or we get Thoughtseized and it gets taken away, there's actually a way that we can get around this. So you'll notice that we have a 1 of Fae of Wishes here. That's a little bit weird when we're playing Karn, who wants to grab artifacts out of the sideboard. But the reason that Fae of Wishes is in here is because we have a 1 of Shifting Woodland in here. This is a land that we can pick out of the sideboard in a longer game against. Typically, Control is when we need to do this. We can put that onto the battlefield without any interaction, and then activate and get an Omniscience into play effectively with enough mana. So that's pretty cool. That will basically ideally get us to the Goblin Charbelcher win, but who knows? Yeah. This is a deck that is not currently running Tendrils of Agony, but that is one angle that you could go. The idea being that you would go Omniscience, cast a bunch of spells, cast a bunch of tutors, increase your storm, then Tendrils your opponent. You could maybe cut something out of the sideboard to do it. I would maybe consider God Pharaoh's Statue one avenue that could work there. But because we already have to go Fae of Wishes and get something out of the sideboard in order to get this Omniscience into play typically, I didn't really think that the Tendrils of Agony win was really what we wanted to do. Now, if this deck was able to go positive on card draw, that is an avenue that you could go. So if you went a little bit heavier into blue, you could do things like Lorien Reveal, draw 3 cards, increase the amount of cards in your hand. And so you could have a situation where your Omniscience gets countered, you go Fae of Wishes into the sideboard, get your Shifting Woodland, copy Omniscience, now you have infinite mana, draw a bunch of cards, use some remaining floating mana to return Fae of Wishes back to your hand, then you go Omniscience and continue from there. So those are the combo aspects of the deck, but that's really not all that this can do. We're running 4 Karns, so in the sideboard we obviously need to have a liquid metal coating. This just wins us some games sometimes. Grafdigger's Cage, because there's a lot of reanimation, Phoenix, things like this that you want to watch out for. Disruptor Flute is kind of just some tech against the blue-white control matchup, which is typically hard for this deck. You really just need to kind of get into a tempo play of making sure that you run out their counter spells before you go for a win. It's kind of just a thing you got to think about actively. And then 1 ring if we need to draw cards. So the deck is here. This is Sultai Belcher Omni Show. I am really, really excited to play this. I have been grinding the ladder a little bit with this deck, and it's been fun. You know, it's definitely a deck that folds at the higher levels to a lot of hand hate, which definitely is a little bit prominent in the meta right now as I record this. But with that being said, it is a fun deck, and you do get to take some fun games. Now, before we hop into the game, let's make sure that we talk about some of the one-ofs in this deck, because there are a few. Obviously, we do know about Show and Tell Omniscience. That's one. Toxic Deluge is in here because sometimes you play a bunch of creatures. Sometimes it's red-white energy is one thing. You can see some tribal decks here and there in Timeless right now. This is just a one-of here to find off of any one of our 4, 8, 9 tutors, Beseech included, that will be able to allow us to wipe the board. Veil of Summer is in here. This is something that we'll typically find through one of the tutor routes as well, especially in those blue-white control matchups. When you cast Beseech of the Mirror, sometimes people will like to counter the tutor itself. Sometimes people will wait for the combo turn. But depending on who your opponent is, this is always going to be a good thing for you, because either you get a counterspell out of their hand, or you set up for a later turn where you get to go Veil of Summer, see if it resolves, or bait another counterspell out of them, and then go for your kill. I guess I didn't talk about Dark Ritual. That's kind of just like a necessity in any of the Belcher decks right now. Got to have that mana advantage. And the final thing here, actually 2 things left. Born Upon a Wind. Sometimes you want to win at instant speed. I haven't really seen this to be a necessity as of late. Typically we just win straight up with Belcher. But to have an Omniscience where we can go on top of, Show and Tell and Omniscience, and then maybe go combo on top, that could be a thing that happens. We will see if that ends up being a relevant thing in these matches. The final card is Weather the Storm here. We do get a little bit low on those channel turns. So if we have enough black mana and stuff like that, black and green mana typically, in order to cast a tutor, then get our Weather the Storm and cast it off of channel, then this is sometimes going to be the difference between being able to activate a Karn line versus not being able to. So I think that's enough rambling about the deck. I think you guys get the point by now. It's a pretty fun one. I've been really enjoying it. I've played pretty much every Belcher variant under the sun, I'd say, by now. Covered a bunch of them on the channel. And I would say that Sultai is being pretty good to me so far. You would think with the third color, it's a little bit hard. But we're really running a very tiny blue splash. We typically only need 1 pip, and otherwise we're going for green and black. And the recent addition of all these dual MDFCs has been absolutely instrumental in both making the dual colored variants of Belcher work and this tricolor work. So if you guys think that there's any other tricolors that we should look into, I'm definitely into trying it. Maybe something with red could be cool. But we'll see. Red black always being a very good core. That could be something to look into later now. But for now, we are looking at Sultai. Let's hop to some games and see what happens. Before we hop in, though, make sure to like and comment. It helps with the algorithm. Subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'll see you guys in the next, not in the next video, in these games. Let's get in there. All right, here we go. Let's look for a line to victory. Seems like we're sort of handed it here. Goblin Charbelcher in the opener is always pretty solid. We have 3 lands, which is also very good, so we'll keep this hand. This does fold to hand hate, but if they're on a little bit of an aggro situation, that's not so bad. Now we do have an opportunity if we find another untapped land to go for a turn 2 Belcher. I'll have to suss out if my opponent's hand is going to be able to deal with that or not. They go Brainstorm right now. Could be Jeskai control. Could also just be some red-blue aggro. They'll draw one of the two they put on top. And holding up double blue here is a scary thing to see here. Luckily, we've drawn a greedy freebooter, which is another thing that's good for us. If they go shields down here, we are now representing Beseech the Mirror with one more land into Ironcrag Feet, into Goblin Charbelcher. That could be nice. We could also Beseech for a Veil of Summer, which might end up being relevant in this matchup. Let's see if they deploy a creature or continue to hold up spells. We can really just play slow here. We can deal some damage with Freebooter. We can also go Seek New Knowledge on their end step. This is a really nice addition to the deck, I would say. It just really gives us something to do when we'd otherwise not really be doing much. Okay, so put that in tapped here. Send in the Freebooter. See if they play anything. I would be surprised if they commit mana to the board right now, but we will see. They're thinking about it, though. Unholy Heat, fine. And I think we're not going to go into Counterspell here. That would be terrible. I think we go for Scrying the Greedy Freebooter. We're looking for another land, and we'll pass. I'm going to try to play around Spell Pierce if I can here, but if I can't, I'm not going to feel too bad about it. Opponent goes Expressive Iteration here. Nice. We're going to let them play their land here and try to bait out a Counterspell on Seek New Knowledge, because that would leave them essentially defenseless. I could actually just go Beseech into Ironcrag Feet next turn if they tap themselves out. All right, they have topped out here. That's what I like to see. And I think that we should be able to go for it here. They'll have to have Pact of Negation or another land to play. They will shock, they'll go Brainstorm. We're going to have it here, folks. Seek New Knowledge here just for a little extra. We have Born Upon a Wind, but I don't think that's really going to be necessary here. Toxic Deluge might actually be the other one that we want to put back, but this is fine for now. So they'll draw. They'll need to have... I don't think that there's any way that they win this game, honestly. Tamio can do whatever she wants to do. That's fine. I assume it'll be the plus. Nice. All right, and so we should be good here. Let's move to turn. We have assembled the team here, but that's not really going to matter. We'll Dark Ritual for mana here. We'll go Beseech with Bargain, sacrificing our treasure. We're going to now go find our Ironcrag Feet. There it is. Cast. Belcher will be the last spell of the turn, but it's not going to matter. We will dome the opponent. All right. Well, game one, we found our line there. That was pretty sweet. Definitely one of those situations where the opponent really needs to respect our ability to kill out of nowhere. And for them going to move their game plan forward, we're actually going to get the win. Pretty good round one. Let's go to round two and try to do it again. All right, here we go, round two. So this time we are not, in fact, blessed with our friend, the Belcher. Seek New Knowledge here is pretty solid, though. That does get me going. We do have Thoughtseize to check our opponent's hand. I think this is actually going to be a keep here. We'll go tapped land into Boggart Trawler. I think we're getting Thoughtseized here, which is going to be awkward for our lands. They do, with Thoughtseize, have the... Okay, so it's Grief, sure. But they actually, if they are going to scam, have the ability to take me off all mana here, which is pretty gnarly. Let's see what they take. All right, they take the Thoughtseize. Now, that's actually really good because I could have really been screwed here. Yeah, they could have put me on no lands. A lot of people don't realize that about these Belcher decks. And will they continue to not take my lands? Oh, that's beautiful. I'd love to see that. So we have Dark Ritual into Greedy Freebooter, or we can just go Waterlogged Teachings. I think it's not really going to matter here. I do almost want to cast Bridgeworks Battle, but that's not really going to work with my mana. I think we just sit here, go for turn 2 Seek New Knowledge. We are unlikely to be able to go for the channel win here. I think it's going to be really hard against a size 3 Grief or a size 4 power Grief. We'll do what we can though and see if this can, if we can make something of this. Grief again, that's pretty gnarly. Take what you want. Yeah, I think with multiple like that, that's just tough. They keep leaving me with these lands, which is beautiful. Love to see it. Show and tell here, if I can find Omniscience, is potential. Now, I get an extra turn if I don't shock this, so I think that I will do that. Greedy Freebooter now is something that can attack and soften them up, or if they play another creature or decide to kill it, it's ramp. Surgical? No, reanimate. Well, we have been hit 4 times with Grief. That is just absolutely brutal here. They have 7 power on the battlefield with Menace. I think that this is going to be a hard one to win. So for not shocking and playing Seek New Knowledge, that's a little bit awkward here. We can now Bridgeworks battle the larger Grief. I'll have to put that in tapped. We are just taking 7 here. It's a 1-hit, 2-turn game here. I think that they've done enough to just win this one here. Felia as well. That is gnarly. Main phase Felia. You hate to see it. Yeah, so I mean, I can show and tell here. Like, that gets me a Karn onto the battlefield. Oh, no, it doesn't. Karn is a planeswalker, not an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land. But it is what it is. We can go here and just put ourselves down for 2. And opponent's going to have us here with the Felia activation. They'll take my Karn as well. Sorin, House Markov, excuse me. I mean, hey, wow, very, very good Grief game plan there. There's a reason that it was just banned in Legacy, that is. Okay, round 2 didn't go the same way as round 1, but that is what's going to happen. This would basically just be like the deck that you don't want to play. This is the matchup you're trying to avoid. So good that we get to see both sides of the coin. Round 3 coming up next. Okay, round 3, let's go. Weather the Storm's kind of a dead card to start. I think this is a hand that we want to mulligan. We got to look for a more proactive game plan. A Charbelcher in hand is definitely that. I think we get rid of the Born Upon a Wind here. That's a pretty easy one to get rid of. We're going to set up to play this Assemble the Team. I guess it actually doesn't matter. We can just set up to go Shambling Ghast. Yeah, we'll just play our tap lands on curve. Ironcrag Feet, not really great. If we're able to put it on the bottom of our library, that is pretty ideal. Stomping Ground, Utopia Sprawl, this kind of makes me think that this is going to be land destruction. I really don't see Utopia Sprawls like that anymore. Cash Grab, okay, no, this might just be the Menguchi Omni Show deck, or Omni Shifting Woodlands deck. If I play the Fell the Profane, then I get 2 creatures on the battlefield instead of 1, or I can assemble the team. I think I'll just play this slower. Now we can shock Fell the Profane next turn and go assemble plus Freebooter, so that feels nice. I think if I find the mana to just drop my Belcher, I'm just going ahead and doing it. It really is fine. Don't need to do anything about it. They're reading Shambling Ghast. That is going to be a very, very good blocker against red-green unless they have Trample. It also soaks up some damage spells potentially. Let's see what the 4-mana play is. It's going to be the One Ring. Yeah, I kind of do get the feeling that we're looking for Shifting Woodland here. We do find Channel, which definitely changes things here. So we're going to assemble the team and look for green mana. We do find green mana. And I think that if we want to put that in tap, that could be good. I don't think we absolutely need another Greedy Freebooter on the battlefield yet. I do only have 1 later to... Yeah, no, we do have to take the green. All right. Let's put this in tapped. I was kind of just thinking, do I want to try to get a Veil of Summer? But the green is a little bit lacking on my battlefield right now. Should be a good next turn, though. We'll see if they tap out for anything. I don't think from their perspective they will play another One Ring if they have it. Okay, Karn. Karn is a problem. You hate to see it. So now we don't have Belcher activation up. We'll need to Fell the Profane on end step. Oh, actually, we can't even do it on end step. If we can find a way to lose the Shambling Gas, then we can have the third mana, or we need 2 black, 2 green in order to win. And that will do it here. Oh wait, will it? No, I think we're still 1 off. But I can Dark Ritual into Fell the Profane, so that's good. Yeah, I just can't Fell the Profane into Channel. It's a little awkward. We can attack, put Karn down a little bit. And there's the chance that they just -2 him and he dies, or there's the chance that they -2 and play another Karn, and then we're able to kill that Karn, set up Channel kill. So that is good. And I think I'll play another Greedy Freebooter as well. Okay. Opponent has the priority right now for their One Ring activation. Nice. Alright, here's a Greedy Freebooter. Just to make sure that we still have enough mana for Fell the Profane. We do. And we'll pass through our turn. And we will set a stop at their end step. Okay, let's go. Opponent should One Ring on their end step, I would think. Yep. We have to dodge Thoughtseize, which I doubt is in there. Oh, they took Tormod's Crypt. Okay, yeah. Tormod's Crypt is a surprise. I wonder what they think I'm doing. It's 1 trigger for the Belcher. They don't have priority to do anything with the Tormod's Crypt, and it's also just a reveal, so it's not like it matters. I would think they would have gotten a Liquid Metal Coating here. Surprising. All right, well, let's see what happens now. Cash grab, sure. Okay, some of those Fables, that was good to see those go. Knight, okay. Oh, they take another One Ring. So that makes this awkward. Then I don't do Fell the Profane this turn. Alright, so it looks like they One Ring right now. That is smart from them. But you know what I could do? So I can kill Karn this turn. And oh no, but I need I'm going for a Channel win, so I'd have to pass the turn with Belcher up. Okay, well, that's a little awkward. The thought was typically against the One Ring, you're not really minding that as a Belcher deck because you can just wait until their upkeep when the protection expires and their trigger goes onto the stack, then you just blast them with the Belcher at that point. Unfortunately, we're going the Channel route right now, so that doesn't work, but it is what it is. Luckily, Fell the Profane being exactly the card that we need right now. That is the One Ring that we expected, sure. So they're going to hang on for a little bit longer here. We will get to kill Karn, though, which is nice. We just won't have enough for the activation. They're going to make the One Ring big, fine. I mean, I'm just easily blocking. All right, so nothing on my end step since they have protection. Okay. Or on their end step, nothing on theirs. We'll discard. Seek New Knowledge, pretty decent card right now. If we're not going for the kill this turn, then I think that I'd like to Seek New Knowledge. That can help me find another land that gets me closer to a secondary game plan if the Channel doesn't work out. So I'm into that idea. Let's do this. And we're putting the Ironcrag Feet back, in case it wasn't extremely obvious. They have One Ring activation if they'd like it. We are putting Ironcrag Feet back 101% of the time. I do have my own card now, which is nice. Not doing anything with them, but, you know, we have one. No attacks, of course. All right. And they will not activate their One Ring. That's a surprise. I would think they'd like another card. Karn can always minus. We have to make sure that we don't get Liquid Metal locked out here. Malevolent Rumble. Luckily, so we see Shifting Woodland and Omniscience here. Shifting Woodland will go down. Will they have Delirium? They will. Oh, that's not good. All right, well, do we die here? Yep. All right, here we go. Well, let's sit back and watch the Manguchi Omni Shifting Woodland combo go off. They should be able to kill from here, I would think. but let's see what happens. Karn minus. Karn will get Ancestral Statue or... yeah, Ancestral Statue, and that is indeed a kill. We'll just show them Dark Ritual here. Yeah, unfortunately, we should have killed Karn at the end of last turn. That's unfortunate. We would like to just pass through all this, but unfortunately, Arena's not really going to work with me here. The combo is basically they just cast Ancestral Statue a bunch of times, put Karn back to the hand at the end of their loop, then go get a Aetherflux Reservoir, cast one more spell, and they win. They won't have to do that many spells, but I will stick with them here. I would like to actually show this off on the channel. Have played the deck before, so if you want to see it from the other side, do go check out that video. But for now, I'm just spamming the spacebar as fast as I can to get through their turn. Yeah, so they don't need to do this that many times. I mean, they have spells to cast in their hand. If they were truly, in a competitive environment, they would obviously shortcut if it was in paper. But for a online thing like this, they might actually need to go and get the 50 Storm before actually going into the sideboard with their Karn. But it is what it is. They're going for the Karn now. Very cool. And Karn will minus find Aetherflux. Yep. There we go. And that's Aetherflux. I think it'll be like 2 spells or something like that, and they'll have me. Utopia Sprawl, yep. 2 more spells, rather. Malevolent Rumble, sure. And one more before they get to dome me. Traverse the Ulvenwald. Yeah, this seems kind of like the standard list here. Seasoned Pyromancer, yep. This one's really fun to play, by the way. Would recommend giving it a look. You can find my deck list in the video description of the video that I made on this. Otherwise, you're watching the game right now. You can take your screenshots and build the deck yourself if you'd like. Yeah, 62 damage here. They will be able to kill. I think they're just going a little bit over just in case I've got anything up my sleeve. I do not, but they don't know that. Look at them go. Going to crack 100 here. Karn the Great Creator again. What else are we doing here? I think they're going for the style points. Let's see what you do post Aetherflux kill. Is there anything that makes this a little bit more consistent of a win? I guess Haywire Might does do that. Although Charbelcher activation is still fine. Oh, they're going for Grizzlebrand here? Alright, let's go. The only thing I regret is keeping that Dark Ritual here until I didn't have priority. But, good play by the opponent. That Karn was really, really well timed. I think looking back on it, if I had known that they were going to find their Omniscience here with Shifting Woodland, I would have killed Karn when I could have. That's just a read that I did not make in the moment. But I would say that that's probably the right move. Kill Karn as early as possible and then just do a pass the turn play with Belcher. I guess, this deck, other than the Haywire Might itself, doesn't really have much artifact removal. So that could have been good. Anyway, we'll lose round 3 there, but we have rounds 4 and 5 coming up next. All right, hopefully we're going to be back to smashing people with Belcher. Well, this would be a nice hand if it had lands. Unfortunately, it doesn't. That's an instant mulligan. This time we have 1. It's off color. Black is our main color. Green is our secondary color. I don't think I can take it. If this was a black mana source, I could think about it, but honestly, that's a pretty hard sell as well. We're looking for 2 to 3 lands in this next hand, otherwise we got to go to 4. All right, cool. We have the lands that we need. We're ready to get rid of Crag and Weather the Storm. It's not the end of the world. We will need to find one of our 4, is it? No, 8 blue sources. Question is, do I want to Thoughtseize immediately? I see Delighted Halfling into Breeding Pool. What comes down for 3? Kethis, if this is randomly a Kethis deck. You don't really see that in Timeless, so I'm inclined to not think that it is. I would say Yawgmoth is another read, except why would they be in blue? Could be Nadu. Nadu is 3 mana. Honestly, I'm just not sure. So I'm going to give the Thoughtseize a look. Let's see what they're doing. Okay, well, Teferi the Time Raveler is a good one to get rid of. Doorkeeper Thrall, not so important to me. Stifle is well something to watch out for. Okay, so I think that definitely Teferi needs to go away. Stifle does get rid of my Belcher activation, but they do that once and then I'm fine. Thrall does not matter, and Null Drifter is a problem eventually, but if I can find little guys to throw in the way, it's not the end of the world. So I think I maybe take the Teferi because he's the only thing that really ruins me on a past the turn play. All right, a lot of thinking there. Hopefully they don't have another land. I think it's just going to be, oh, they don't even go for the Doorkeeper Thrall, excuse me, because they don't have the ability to. All right, well, we're just putting some... whoa, that's not what I meant to do. I want to be in my main phase. Okay, we'll play our land, and we'll pass. Don't put a counter on their creature. 14 life. Toxic Deluge can come down once they do either Doorkeeper Thrall or Null Drifter. We do need to watch out for Null Drifter Stifle, which I think is the plan here. We do have blue now. That's great. We'll be able to decide between Toxic Deluge and Seek New Knowledge. This is also notably 3 out of 4, 3 of the 3 mana needed for Beseech the Mirror in black. So Beseech is online once we find a token to sacrifice. All right, this is something that we can definitely still win out of nowhere. I think that we, first of all, don't play this land. We're going to go Seek New Knowledge first. They did not stifle me. Demonic Tutor, Assemble the Team are both really good here. I don't think we really need mana past a point, so we'll put that on bottom. Then this will be our turn. All right, so now we have Demonic Tutor can find Veil of Summer. Assemble the Team could find something as well. I think once the Belcher hits the battlefield, we're okay. So I'm going to go for a protected Belcher cast, not a protected Belcher cast and activation. Well, actually, this might change things because now we can go Assemble the Team first. We're looking for land or Veil of Summer. All right, so that resolves very easily. We take Veil of Summer if it's here. Oh, man, you know, I could have actually just grabbed Channel if I had tapped differently. Okay, well... Can't go back on that. I actually could just get a green source as well. I mean, they did not hold priority there, so I could actually just go for it maybe. What am I talking about? I need to get 2 cards. This doesn't work. Okay, so what was I saying? I need to get my Belcher and I need to get my Veil of Summer. So we don't have Veil of Summer, so this is just a free whatever I want. I guess another green could be nice. Show and Tell, not really necessary. I guess I will take Channel, in fact. And then we go Demonic Tutor here. Demonic Tutor will find Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer, where are you? You're all the way at the left. There it is. All right. Cool. And so we have 2 out of 3 green mana here, which is a little bit awkward. If we find another green, we get to go for Protected Veil of Summer. If we find another land in general, we get to go for Protected Belcher. Think we can make it work. Null Drifter Stifle, I would say. Yep. So it has Annihilator 1, which is a problem, but with Channel, we're okay. I can also Toxic Deluge here for 4. Yeah, I think Toxic Deluge here for 4 is the move, and then we just hold for Belcher next. They also might not have removal. I can Shock Disciple next, so we hold like this for 4. All right, so that clears board. Then Channel doesn't work here, so we play this tapped. And we can still protected win next turn. All right. What'll it be? Teferi Time Raveler, fine. All right. So we start with Veil. If our things can't be countered, they can't stop us. They'll have to rip off a counterspell here. All right, and that's good. So we go Channel. Can't be countered. Belcher can't be countered. Take a couple damage. And they'll have to have Stifle here. Yeah, we just want to do this now. And, okay. Stifle will have to be one of the last cards in hand. I think they have it. That's unfortunate. All right, and then we basically go like this. Teferi's going to send this back to hand. We're at a very awkward 3. We'll have to pass. If we draw another Belcher... Oh, actually the Beseech angle is now a little bit awkward. Okay, so very good time to Stifle. That one makes sense. Dark Writ also works. They shock in the Hollowed Fountain. That's kind of interesting. Karn the Great Creator. We can go for the Liquimetal plan. I think that's better. Yeah, I think we go Karn into Belcher. Or sorry, Karn into Liquimetal Coating. It's the best use of the mana. However, I think they're probably holding some sort of counterspell. We see pretty much everything held up here. I think I'd go for the Karn. Belcher's a little all-in, honestly. Consigned to Memory. That sucks. Alright, well, at least we still have the Belcher in hand. Doorkeeper Thrall. That'll put us to 2, then to 1. There's still an angle where we don't die. We have draws to... Oh, you know what? I could have Beseeched into Dark Ritual and then gone for Belcher after the fact. Alright. Uro, fine. Puts me to 2, so we have to win this turn. Can we do it? Dang, not an untapped land. Okay, so Beseech the Mirror. Yeah, it doesn't really, we don't really have an angle here. We can't kill something with 6 toughness. Yeah, I think this unfortunately doesn't make it there for us. We tried. They had the answer. Sometimes that's just going to be how it is with these decks. We'll give our opponent the satisfaction of attacking in for 6 here and returning my Belcher to hand again with the Teferi once more. Dang. Well, yeah, this is the blue-white control matchup. It's a hard one to beat, not going to lie. And we saw, I believe, double Stifle it was. First Stifle on the, what was it called? The Null Drifter. And then second Stifle, I think, must have been drawn that turn or the next turn. So, you know, good timing. It is what it is. That was round 4. Round 5 coming up. All right, here we go. Goblin Charbelcher. We can set up for a channel kill. Yeah, I'm down. So it's 1, 2, 3 is the potential. Guide of Souls here. Not thinking that they're going to have removal here. We'll just go fast, I think. Assemble the team. Gotta find channel. We do find it. Let's go. So that makes this potential turn 3. Voice of the Blessed. And yeah, they're not going to have removal. We have them here. This is what we're looking to do today. Alright, well, here's Waterlogged Teachings, just so that we have all our colors if it goes wrong. Channel, Belcher, Belcher activation, GG. That's round 5. Cool. I think I'll give it one more game here. I'll just attach it to round 5. Hopefully we can find another kill. Queue's been a bit long today, so hopefully it doesn't take too long. I will cut the recording if necessary, but hopefully we'll get something in the first 10 or 15 seconds. Overall, I would say that while we've had some tough matchups, the discard and the control matchup in particular were some of the worst ones that you can get as a sort of deck. Here you just saw that against creature or aggro, we actually do quite well if we can just take a hand that goes fast. So here we go with the second half of round 5. Let's hope for another good hand and a path to victory that we can start working towards. Doesn't really have that. We are looking for both black and blue mana. We're going to mulligan this one. This technically has all the colors, and we do have show and tell, so if we want to tutor for omniscience, that's something that we could do as well. Let's give this a try. And what are we getting rid of? It actually might end up being the show and tell. I think as is, this is a pretty decent hand. We have Thoughtseize to check on maybe turn 2 or 3. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing. So we go like this. Play the greedy freebooter. Maybe a Thoughtseize. Probably not the Thoughtseize. We also might just get our hand ripped apart here. Oh, not. Nice. Sadly, this comes in tapped. But next turn, there's the potential to hold up Veil of Summer if this is... going to be hand hate. I think we don't play around the hand hate here. Consider. Okay, yeah, this is probably like some control, maybe flash even. I don't know. All right, 2 blue mana. You got it. So we'll play our waterlogged teachings here. We want to make sure that we're always making black mana as opposed to anything else. I think this would be a surprising counter from them. Nice. It is a clock, and we'll soften them up, and eventually will be some mana for me. And card advantage, I guess, so that's great. Next turn, we have a Thoughtseize holding up Veil of Summer. This might just be a turn. Oh, it's show and tell. All right. We'll put a Belcher out. They have Omniscience. I mean, if they have to pass the turn, we should be able to kill. All right, they'll have Approach of the Second Sun from hand. They'll go dig through time here, and we're just dead from the main deck. Wow. So that was mono blue Omni show. How cool. That happened really, really fast. I have to kind of take a look at the deck list and see what we're doing here. Consider Impulse. Yeah, I think they were just playing a 1-of copy in the main deck and just happened to draw it. Okay, well, I think that's how we're going to end this one out. Had some great wins, had some great losses. Overall, it was a cool showcase of Sultai Belcher. I think that this is probably one of the more fun ones that I like to play. There are the 2 color variants, which I think are still pretty decently strong. But to have access to the best of 3 colors just feels really nice. And yeah, not much more to say other than that. So that was Sultai Belcher. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and comment on the video. It helps with the algorithm. Subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'll see you guys in the next one.